so we shouldn't get too much slack today. Oh, the counter space up top is still terrible. All right, so is this the Hobbit height I'm working with? I will invest in a new tripod for the next stream, I think, because this one is rinky-dink. I had a plan. The plan was to show you guys some new Tupperware, not sponsored, about myself. Hello, Doe. Yo, yo. Oh, question. All right. Listen to the current audio. Listen to how it sounds. It's maybe passable, maybe not. But what if we had better audio? Let me know if this sounds better or not. Hello? Does that sound different? 1 2 1 2 check 1 2. Hello? What we eating? Same thing I always eat, bro. Loud? Really? What's your phone volume at? Is it max? It's just louder. What? So was it better without it or with it? If it's loud, check your phone volume. I want to know if y'all are just like maxed out, because I'm normally maxed out on my phone. Better but louder. Interesting. Well, it makes sense for me because I can walk around now and not be next to my phone while talking for a moment. YouTube, it's fake. Also not very sharp. Oh, you're on PC. Well, that changes things. Sorry for the weird view. I do this because on YouTube, if you turn the phone sideways for like vertical view, it doesn't keep chat. It makes the chat go into some weird version of whatever it's supposed to be. All right, so we're making breakfast, but first I got some Tupperware I want to show off because I'm an adult and Tupperware is pretty cool. I bought 5 of these things. Oh, wait, I got 5 of each, I think. Looky there, son. These are not Pyrex. I got Pyrex as well. And I'm gonna probably do some testing on which one I like more. We got that going on. Pop her open. Lids are flappier than Pyrex, that's for sure. I don't think that's actually a bad thing. It might be overall a W. Bro turning into a fitness channel day by day. I mean, I do these streams. I like these streams. They're fun. When there's like no game to play that I'm super into, this is a lot more fun to do. I don't do it every day though, because it might get kind of boring. I'm not a very eventful person. Today I voted though. This will not be a political talk at all, but brother, why do we have dinosaurs in charge of voter registration? You're telling me we got folks that don't know how iPads work, they have no idea how to use a computer, and they're the ones that check me in to vote? I sat there for 30 minutes. I was of the first in line. It took me maybe 5 minutes to get into the people that are sitting there to register me. Trashman's here. Took me no time at all to get to the person to register me to vote. Tell me why it takes 30 minutes for them to relay information that I knew 4 years ago. Because my driver's license does not have my current address. Not my fault. I should probably change it though. Fair. But in the system for voting, it has my current address. And on the computer screen, the lady that registered me, or was trying to, read out my current address, not the full thing. And she read out a little bit and I said, yes, I'm registered to my full address. I said it to her. And she's like, oh, well, the ID doesn't match the system. Turns out, after 30 minutes of me waiting to have someone do their thing, which I wasn't impressed about the time, I'm just annoyed that it's a simple fix. But turns out, if you have if the system says your address, that's all that matters. Your ID can say one thing, but the system has to say your address. That's the most important part. That's the only important part, apparently. So I got the vote. And also, read me this. How come at the end of the voting thing, it has like freaking Shakespearean text? Why is it at the end it says, shall the place in which you reside, insert random weird like terminology. I think they mentioned annexation, but maybe they didn't mention annexation. I'm not quite sure. Why is that so complicated? I had no idea what I said yes or no to at the end. I feel like that part should be redacted, and they should go ahead and redo that, make it easier to understand. What is the point in using language that people can't understand and is like more complex for no good reason? So dumb. So that was my voting experience. It wasn't bad though. And if you want to vote, go early. Just by the by. Would be wise. All right, so this is essentially what, okay. We have this. This is a small. All right, my hands are, I'm not like a giant or nothing. This is a bigger version. I want to get bigger bowls than this too. These are like, I think 16 ounces per chance. But here is the play, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff away right quick. They die so quickly they don't even need food. What? Okay, the snap-on Pyrex is way better than whatever this is. I think that these were Misirco, I guess. Pyrex is better snap. Just FYI. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some kosher salt into that thing right there. And here's the play right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put all this stuff on the ground somewhere so I can actually get some more space. Assume that a properly cooked terminated, preferably roasted with a flame werfer, could taste amazing. Oh no shot. Have you seen the goo inside those things? Yellow? I think that eating a terminated would be like eating yellow pus. That don't sound too appetizing, does it? At least I hope not. Does not sound enticing to me. All right, 1 second. I gotta close my dishwasher. I keep it open, I'm not sure why. Most because of the, wait, read that twice. Eat the terminated eggs. I feel like terminated eggs, don't they just have larvae? That'd be gross too. I'm a picky eater though, picky-ish. So it'd be kind of hard to entice me with terminated food. Charger leg looks like packing peanuts if they were melted down and they use like orange food coloring. Oh, I saw some videos talking about kosher salt. I got some kosher salt. They talk about how you can pinch it. How the freak? Restaurant opening, easy pour. Not very easy to open that, dude. I'd say that wasn't very easy at all. I've been lied to. Does it have iodine though? I don't believe so. The reason why they recommend kosher salt is because it doesn't have as much processing, such as iodine and whatnot, or additional things. Ingredient, salt. Whereas Morton salt, I'm pretty sure it does have iodine. It has salts, it has calcium silicate, and anti-caking agent. All right, this is 1 serving of salt. We're gonna add that to our eggs. Trust me, I'm the cook today. I wash my hands, so we're fine. The reason why chefs use kosher salt is because you can pinch it. It's kind of strange actually. The first time I felt salt like that. I've used Celtic salt and a few different things too, but this one's interesting. Hope I don't oversalt my stuff. For the longest time, I haven't been using salt on my eggs at all because I didn't have any kosher salt and I didn't like using this stuff. People swear by Redmond's. I don't really like it that much. I can't really taste the salts. I think I spilled salt on the ground. Yep, I gotta vacuum that later. Some eggs or salt. No, I'm good. This is the perfect ratio. This is the golden ratio right here. Bro, I spilled so much salt on the ground. It wasn't even from me on purpose. It was just the container. Insert tab to close. What the f... I'm about to put this in a plastic bag. I'm not sure how to close it. Okay, it's time to begin the cooking stream, folks. I'm sorry, this is... How do you... Is that a good angle? Good angle. All right, first things first. We grab a potato. This particular potato probably... Let's go ahead and guess the weight. Guessing game. How much does potato weigh? I'm gonna guess 210 grams. 1.2 pounds, brother. Oh my God, he's nuts. You see that? I've been getting pretty good at guessing, dog. 230 grams, pretty close. 206, I guess 210. Not too shabby, son, not too shabby. That matters because I'm in a deficit. I say it a lot recently. So my goal is to try and lose weight, and I should know how much I'm eating, at least like to a certain degree. No need to be perfect in a deficit, but if you want better results, you should be more accurate whenever you can be. And for things like potatoes, they're not like super calorically dense, but 200 grams versus 300 grams is a pretty big difference in the long run, especially if you miscalculate everything. It begins to add up. Now, I didn't have any pre-workout snacks today, so I'm gonna probably do a potato. I'm gonna do 3 hash browns most likely, because I want to. How much is that in freedom units? I could have actually checked. Well, so I know that it goes like kilometers versus miles in freedom units, and miles of freedom. What does it go for grams versus what? Kilograms? Bro, just measuring grams. I feel like it makes more sense. All right, first things first. Cut down the middle. Making some cute. The white stuff is yeast. Wait, no, the white stuff is starch. I didn't clean the cutting board, but I'm gonna rinse these anyway in a moment. Cut once that way, once this way, right? And then cut one more time. We're trying to get thin slices like so. Because for some reason, these yellow potatoes don't cook as well in the air fryer as russet potatoes do. Okay, these are too thin, but we'll live. All right. And now we go the other direction. Cross cut, cross cut, cross cut. The special white sauce. That reminds me, the whole Kaisenat sandwich, or the Kaisenat chicken Big Mac. Kaisenat's inside me. I can taste his sauce. There were some sus comments being made on that for at least a week. I feel like going to McDonald's, that's not really selling out necessarily by any means, but you could dream bigger than McDonald's. I feel like Mickey D's is kind of falling off in terms of quality, in terms of a lot of things. At least where I'm at, at least where I'm at. I think I'd go for a Whataburger collab if I could. Okay, these are there. Grab your bowls. Sugar might not be the devil, but celebrity meals sure are. Lunchly. I think that Lunchly is the plague. My thing is, I don't like it when people claim that things that aren't healthy are healthy for you. Or things that are healthy aren't healthy. Wait. What? Okay. When folks claim, like let's say Lunchly for instance, it's a healthier version of Lunchables, which technically isn't even true because of how little the caloric intake is of the food. Like even children need to eat a certain amount of calories a day to be in maintenance or a surplus. That stuff matters. when you're in a deficit, they call it starvation mode essentially, because your body is definitely in need of more food, but because you have less food, you're going to be losing weight. It's a good thing. If you're a kid, you're growing, you don't need to be in a deficit. Lunchlies, I've seen some that have only 230 calories. That's not enough food for a kid. Because there's kids that are like 10, 11, 12, they'll ask their mom for Lunchables or Lunchly. It ain't enough. And not to mention the food itself is just, eh. My thing though is taste, dog. Even as a kid, the Lunchables I didn't like, the pizza one. The pizza Lunchable was garbage. And it's probably still the same way. That's a generational run of just trashery existing in a state that isn't respectable. With no intention of improving either. That's the sad part. So just for simple sake, I'm gonna go ahead and place this towel over this. Normally I wouldn't do that because it's just gonna be more wet for no reason. But I don't feel like moving the camera. That's where we're at. All right. Usually I would use like a paper towel, but recently I've been using these regular towels because why not? I'm not sure when you're supposed to wash this though, because I've used it probably 4 times now to do this. It's only for potato drying. I don't know the specifics on the cleanliness of that. You take stems for breakfast. A liquid diet, eh? Is your jaw shut? Is that wired shut or something? I think soon I want to do a baking stream. That'd be kind of fun. But before that, I want to figure out my camera angles better because this is not going to work out the best. I would like to have vertical. Right now we're vertical. I want to go horizontal. But YouTube freaking phone chat is terrible when you're horizontal. It disappears. You can't read anything. It's ridiculous. Make a Halloween treat. If I did. Well, listen, I don't even know how to bake, so trying to decorate something that you baked seems a little complex for me at the moment. Okay, next step. So this is gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take like at least 17 minutes. Next plan, if I wanted to measure this, I'd put the pot with water. Get that right now. Just a little bit of water. You see that? Just a little bit. When you're trying to boil vegetables that are frozen, you don't need much water at all. In fact, this might be too much. Because now I'm gonna get some vegetables. I'll show you my freezer. These are not mine. These pretzels, not mine. I'm keeping the remnants of these other bags because my mom and dad have chickens and they could probably eat that. But we grab vegetable Normandy and broccoli florets. Rotation. Sorry. So in this pot that has no water, if you were trying to count your calories, you'd get your food scale. You'd have the pot with water in it and whatever else you want to put it in it. You tar it on the food scale. I'll just show you, I guess. Do some of that. I don't add salt to my frozen vegetables. I think I like the way they taste without it. With it's fine too. But let's see, look. On. If you turn it on when the thing's on it, it tars it by itself. And now, whatever you put inside of this thing, you can measure. .207 grams of frozen broccoli. That's probably maybe 80 calories, by the way. Because vegetables are super, or they're not very calorically dense at all. And roughly 180 from the vegetable Normandy. Now, I can't really input this in the chronometer because you guys are on the phone at the moment. But if I was able to, I would do that right now. And I do implore people to count their calories at least a little bit to figure out how much they're eating. Because for the people that say they can't lose weight or can't gain weight, you don't know how much you're eating. So of course you can't. You're not taking it seriously enough. There's no need to be a freaking sweat about it, but there should be some realization that maybe you're not special and you aren't, I don't know how to phrase this. You aren't special and the excuses should probably stop. You can't believe I can't bake? I never tried. I mean, I can bake, I just don't usually bake much at all, because baking is pretty simple. You just follow the instructions. Now, baking things that are complex, I can't do that. There's some folks talk about you gotta brown the butter, then you gotta whisk it to where you don't mess it up a little bit. Like, that's where it gets complicated, where like there's certain steps you have to follow, and there's like a perfectionist angle. Yeesh. What's the red powder? It's ground red pepper. It's probably backwards for you. People say that if you're trying to lose weight, it's wise to eat spicy food, especially if you're not super into spicy food, but if you like it, because if it's hot, you probably won't eat it as fast. Because folks also say if you take longer to eat your food, you'll get fuller quicker. In my case, my appetite's crazy, so I have to instead just sort of be hungry a little bit. Oh well. It's kind of my fault though, because I can eat a lot of food I can eat like a lot of food in one sitting. So I have to sort of fight off the ghrelin, the hunger hormone, a little bit. Such a damn disappointment. Completely unrelated, but I'm gonna go play some Library of Ruina now. Is it because of the stream? It says breakfast stream. We got potatoes, we're making breakfast. We got the stove going. Now, I am a big fan of stainless steel. This is not sponsored. I do have an affiliate code in the description for stainless steel pans I like a lot. But when I bring up stainless steel, folks always say, cast iron, man. What about the cast iron? I can respect cast iron, okay? I just don't like cooking with it. I really don't. I can do it, but I don't like it that much. Reason why? You gotta season it. And mine, I didn't know how to season correctly, so I messed it up. I've cooked on cast irons that had good seasonings, and they're pretty cool. They're essentially a stainless steel pan, but there's a bit more effort to clean it though. That's my only grievance. I also like the idea of being encouraged to use soap to clean my cookware. So this, I can clean that. And this little discoloration, I can clean that too, using apparently tomato paste, but for sure using Barkeeper's Friend. I just like that whenever I'm done cooking with stainless steel, I can take a sponge and some Dawn, scrub it out real quick, which if you cook correctly, it won't be hard to scrub out at all. And then it's clean again. And it just looks shiny and it looks pristine. Big freaking fan. Cast irons? Dog, I'm sitting there scrubbing it out. I put water in there, it turns black. Ugh. It freaks me out. And I did it for a long time. And plus, like when I cook on cast iron, it just doesn't taste right, which I think is a me issue. Don't get me wrong. So for me, stainless steel, godsend. And for the longest time, I didn't do stainless steel. I'm not sure why. I was kind of intimidated by it, but it's not that bad. The only thing is, if your stove isn't that great at getting things up to temperature, it might not be fun to cook eggs. But if your stove is decent at that, you can cook eggs, like I'm going to right now. This will have eggs that won't stick unless I mess up, in which case, I'm sorry. Still water? It's not still water. It's just gross. It's just gross water. Ooh, okay. So, refer back to earlier. Potatoes in the bowl. Get some olive oil. I'm gonna use like maybe 40 calories of olive oil. It's not a big deal. You could technically use olive oil spray, your choice. And pour a little bit. Like, I'm talking, you can't see it. The potatoes cover it. A very small amount. And then, that's it. It's fine. I'll cook out the germs anyway. Son of a biscuit. Okay. Now it's not fine anymore. I need a bigger bowl so I don't have any mishaps like that. It keeps happening. It's potatoes. Again, I'm gonna make the same food basically every cooking stream. I said that last time too. Dude, there's salt on the ground. I think I already pre-seasoned these that fall on the ground. Maybe that was intentional. It's called a trick shot. Welcome to OhDough's trick shot compilation from the kitchen. You saw it here first. There's at least 1 grain of salt on this. I'm nuts. Ooh. Okay. So you can buy parchment paper things that go into your air fryer to make it all perfect and whatnot, so you don't get all dirty. Or you can just buy parchment paper and then shape it to your air fryer. If I could rip this, geez Louise. For some reason, these things always break. You see this? They always break. And I'm not even being like rude to it or nothing. I'm not being aggressive. They just can't handle it. They crack under any pressure. All right, I probably should wash this air fryer sometime, but it's fine. That might be mildly loud. Whatever side sticks out the most, you turn that. My stomach's a growling dog. No pre-workout snack has me a little heated, a little hungry. And you rip off the pieces that stick up too high. Like this one. And you only need to have this right here to lock it in place. Now use this tech at your own peril if your house burns down. I didn't show you anything. But my house hasn't burnt down yet, so guess what? We ball until it does. Then I'm gonna take my little hash brown here. These are insanely calorically dense. There's better hash browns for better macros. I don't have those, I have these. So until these are gone, oh well. Because these ones, it's like 100 calories for 60 grams. I've seen some that are 70 calories for 84 grams or something like that. That's a lot better macros. So be looking at the food labels if you want to make slightly better choices, because if you make like enough small better choices, I think it can be a massive change. It all adds up. Paper crumple ASMR, yeah. Yeah. Those ASMR artists, I'm glad they're getting their bag, but they kind of freak me out. I feel like they're gonna take things too far soon. Because now they're just finding sus sounds so they can just spam them on a cooldown. Which reminds me, never mind actually. It reminds me that I shouldn't bring that up. Okay. You see? I put the hash browns on the side. It doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done. And that's all that matters. And now we just, hello? Okay. Now we just pour potatoes in the middle. And then boom, it keeps it in place. If you don't have this to latch it on, it'll spin in the air fryer. How do folks make food and not have their stomach growl at them when they're hungry? I almost never hear someone's stomach growl when they're making a food thing like this, but mine, I can hear it. I don't know if y'all can, but I can hear it. Gotta love Arrowhead. The baby warm backpack still breaks bug breaches. What do you mean breaks them? No, say it. I feel like the folks that watch ASMR videos, OD, like the ones that get like weird sounds, are the same folks that pay OF models to not even talk to them. They're paying some guy named Carl to send them a message as the OF model. It's like the same audience. Don't know why I had that thought, but I did. Man, I didn't have my lid on my vegetables. You're supposed to put a lid on this thing. Helps it steam. True, I can confirm. Gotta find Jesus, bro. That's an expense. If I ever find out that someone's complaining about their inability to afford things financially, and it turns out they're spending like $500 a month on some chick on OF or something like that, nah. That's where financial conversation shouldn't even be allowed. And I feel the same way about folks that give money to streamers and whatnot. Like, please, for the love of God, don't give money to folks if you're the one that needs it. It's your money. Keep it. Because streamers, guess what's gonna happen? Oh wow, thanks for that $1,000, bro. Appreciate it. That'd be me. $1,000, I'd probably be like, oh my God. But that stuff is so short-lived in terms of not necessarily gratitude, but in terms of overall effectiveness. And I feel like that money goes a longer way for the folks that actually need it than a content creator. And some content creators need the money, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Hi, yo. He's right, buy your own MSG for cooking. True. I'm not sure if you're joking, but that's actually a true statement. I've seen a lot of folks, a lot of chefs. I've seen a couple chefs use MSG for cooking. I feel like the air fryer is kind of loud. I can't tell though. Like I hear it loud. Maybe y'all don't. Are y'all kiwi enthusiasts? Oh, y'all peep the fridge first of all. Well, okay. Peep it, but don't judge too much. So we got some slight meal prep. This is the goulash. See that? It's basically like, mine's a very budget goulash, where it's just ground beef, tomatoes, and beef bone broth. But this is roughly, I think 40 grams of protein in each one of those, which is pretty bussin'. Let me actually make sure on that. 40 grams of protein. Yeah, I think it is actually 46 grams of protein. I do a half pound of ground beef, 8 ounces essentially, and 8 ounces is 2 servings. 1 serving is 20 grams. We got the vegan butter for my nephew when they come over, just cause. Got some kiwis, got some energy drinks with no caffeine, cause I don't like caffeine that much. Eggs up top. My sodas. I drink so much diet soda, it's disgusting. It's not even healthy. And we got pickles. We got pickles up here, and I bought this for a salad I only had 1 of, so it's gone. For some reason, I got so much Fairlife milk, I ain't gonna drink it all, bro. I have it, but I made mistakes somehow. 'Twas an accident. I think I'm getting better with the camera work. Yay or nay? Grab ourselves a bowl. We're gonna go ahead and crack this up. I'll measure it just for fun, I suppose. This should be roughly 320 grams for the eggs. And I was told to crack eggs like this. And the last egg you crack on the counter or something like that. Now sometimes the egg in your hand isn't the one that cracks. I'm not sure how to stop that from happening. Like right there. But it seems like doing it this way, you get less early openage of the egg. Like it just cracks the shell. See, like that. It didn't actually crack open. Y'all can see, I think. This one kind of cracked open a little bit. But it's a weak shell, so. Oh well. All right, I said 320 grams. 330, 331. Whatever. Close enough. 6 eggs is roughly 36 grams of protein and 420 calories. Because I think it's 6 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat per egg. At least on the large eggs. Am I burning something? Nah, we'll be fine. So 331, that'd be like probably 440 calories. Now we gotta whisk it with a fork. Crack 250 eggs a day. I'm a cook. What do you cook with the eggs? Do you like being a cook? How do you? I want you to see me beat these eggs. I'm almost tempted to put these in like a blender bottle and have that do the work for me, because it would maybe give the eggs more of it'd give them more aeration. That's weird, but okay. I mean, I'm going in a very heterosexual motion. It'll bubble. It will bubble. That's the one thing I worry about. But if you were to do that and then wait, wouldn't it be fine? No, you psycho doesn't go with the rest. You mean the shell doesn't go with the rest? You could. I forget what the actual benefit of having shells for eggs is, but there's probably a benefit, I would assume. Just like how there's a benefit to having the skin on kiwis. Do y'all ever eat kiwis with the skin on or off? Or when you eat kiwis, do you use skin on or off? This tripod's very stable, that's why it shakes like that. It's a good sign. All right. Yo, I feel like the camera work is improving. Obviously, I'm freaking manhandling y'all because I have to. I'm not sure, I don't have like any fancy setups where I can just click a button and have it change. But this should be ready. The desired effect, you put water drop in here and it glides across the surface. Son of a biscuit. Like it's not done yet, I guess. Because it's doing the thing, but what's supposed to happen is the moment the water hits, it should all glide. It shouldn't sizzle out like that. It's not ready. Okay. More time. It needs more time. If my stove was better, it'd be fine. But this stove is a hand-me-down. That fridge is a hand-me-down. I am hand-me-down Hunter. My name's Hunter. It is what it is, folks. Free or cheap, I'm gonna take it. Skin on, too long to skin the kiwi, and it's hard. I do skin on as well. The way I do kiwi is like this. If these were ripe, I'd actually show you, but these aren't ripe. You get you a knife, okay? You cut out this part, small little indentation, just get it out. Cut out this part, and then I slice it into pieces and just eat each piece individually. You could bite like an apple, but it's not as good to me like that. I just keep slicing it. But I do skin on. Because how do you eat a kiwi and not remove any pieces? This part right here, that thing is like bone. That's scurvy. Things I don't trust at all. That. I feel like I'm gonna chip a tooth or something. Electric stove, motherfuckers waiting 20 minutes to the desired temperature. It's annoying. You need an induction stove, which probably aren't cheap. That's what I want in the future. Hand-me-downs these days are still good though. It is what it is. Oh, I know. I ain't mad about it. I just point out the stove takes a while because one thing about stainless steel pans and making eggs specifically is you should wait for temperature. You should wait for the right temperature. So I don't want folks to be discouraged and be like, man, this is taking forever. It's just my stove is not as good. It doesn't have a good time with temperatures in the first place. Because I can't do a higher temp, since if I do that, it'll burn. I put this thing on medium, it'll burn. It's tragic. I don't know why folks are weird like this, but oh well. Like, you can say something, I guess, but spamming it's just strange. Attention seeking. Like, one thing about me, bro, a lot of times I don't care about the message. I just care about how folks get to the message itself. So if you spam a message, I don't like that. If you, it's the same way I feel about certain things too. People always say, why is Doe so mad about this or that? I'm not mad that someone said something. I'm mad that they thought it in the first place. Like, I'm mad that a certain way of thinking got them to that conclusion. This is not political, by the way. I'm just saying, like, for gaming, usually. Like, this is mostly like in reference to gaming. But it's like, that's what bothers me the most. I think I messed up this whole process, maybe. Speaking of voting, my mom just asked me if I voted. You missed it! Gosh, pay attention next time. Okay. I hit myself. That's actually hot. Peep. That isn't perfect, but it's good enough. See how I didn't like fizzle out? Alright, now that's the case. Turn down the temperature just a little bit. Because if I don't, my stove will burn the eggs. Bad news, brother. Bad news that happens. Okay. Grab you some butter. I'm only going to use maybe 40 calories of butter, so do not freak out when you see the amount. It will look more than it actually is. It's fine. Wrong spoon. We do little spoons with the butter. That, I'm actually going to measure that. I'm curious. Okay, it's tared at 0. And then to get butter in the pan, especially cold butter, you shut it down and let the spoon get warm. And when it's warm enough, it'll slide off. Alright, this pan's a little too hot, but not a big deal. Now, if I'm making an omelet, I do want to use more butter than that. I'd say at least probably like 8 grams of butter. I am not making an omelet. In fact, this pan's a little too hot, but I'm using a bit more butter. Because it's like almost evaporating some stuff. And sometimes I like to coat the sides just so it doesn't, like, no funny business happens. Alright. Also, I used 3 grams of butter the first time, so adding more is fine. So in total, I probably had maybe 40 calories, even 35 calories of butter. And I mention that because people always freak out. They see butter and they're like, oh my god! He's gonna die! The cholesterol! Meanwhile, it's not a big deal. Like, I think it's one of those things that people freak out because they see it, but then those same people go and eat fast food like every single day, and that's fine. But a little bit of butter, oh my goodness, he's gonna die! He's so young, he's gonna die! All because of butter. He's cooking eggs in a stainless steel pan. What kind of wizardry is that? If I had even more butter, I could make an omelet. I guarantee you. I think that the key is probably at least 7 grams of butter for an omelet. And 7 grams would be 40 calories. Little fun fact for you. Isn't calorie counting fun? Said no one ever. I kind of like it though. I like knowing stuff. Like, to me, calorie counting is almost like gamifying, in a good way, your health. It puts you more in control because you know what's going in your body. Now, for folks who want to try stainless steel pans, in the description there's an affiliate code for Heritage pans. This is a Heritage pan. I like it a lot. I've only ever tried Heritage and Maiden pans, but the Heritage ones I think I like more. For a 1-to-1 comparison, I need to get their bigger version, because this is my Maiden pan. This is a 12-inch, I believe. It is a 12-inch. I'll clean the bottom sometime, but I clean the inside. In the future, I will get some crazy cooking sponsors, because who's making eggs like this on stream? Nobody. I've done it at least 3 times. And nobody give me any slack for how I cook my eggs, okay? They're not going to be dry. They're not going to be hard as a rock. I just want to have reduced moisture. I don't like runny eggs. I never have. They're still going to be fluffy, dog. Just let me cook. There's a lot of people cooking the YouTube. No. I'm the only one doing it like this. Those people need a fancy setup. Me, I need a phone, a rinky-dink tripod, and I don't need a mic, but I have a mic. Now, granted, I do want to have a better setup. Could you imagine just having the ability to transition to different scenes? That'd be wicked. You know what? I'm gonna put this in for a bit longer on the air fryer. Maybe like 2 more minutes. I put it in for 17. I think at least 2 minutes because there's so much in there. Okay, these are done. Off. Ow my gosh. Brother, do not buy these kinds of plates. These plates that have like a cylindrical view. You want the ones that are more angled like that. I'll show you in a moment. You see this? Do you see this? I did it! All the work, baby! All the work! I'm gonna go ahead and scrape off some more onto my plate. There's like remnants of egg. You can't even really see in the egg, but I can see like crystals. And I need those sweet, sweet crystals. Those savory crystals. Because I paid for them. We're rationing out here in these streets. Helldivers content has not been hitting, folks. Gotta save all the egg crystals I can. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now this is the joy of having stainless steel. You can use soap and a sponge. Mother Nature's crying. The water's being kept on. No, he's wasting so much water. It's fine. It's got a bubbler. And the pan's clean. The marking in there is just, like, I think it's oxidation, and I can clean that with Barkeeper's Friend. I think that happened because I just let my butter burn inside of it. I'm a stainless steel one trick, 'cause it's the meta. At least for now. Now when it comes to burgers, I feel like there's more to learn. There's a decent chance that cast iron could be the meta for burgers, and if that's the case, I'm gonna feel a certain kind of way. Then again though, I don't know. Oh, now we have vegetables. Boom. I'm using the big bowls. These are awesome. Bowls for the big backs. I think that they're from Famyware. And they're massive, dog. They can fit 400 grams of vegetables in a moment. How do I do this? So don't grab the lid without any protection. Woo! Little Zoidberg claw action. My dude. And there's just a little bit of liquid left inside of this. Perfection. Misoir mon ami. I'm fogging myself out. Same deal. Like not much is sticking to the pan, even in this case where there was like almost no water. Now, if you're someone that doesn't have much time for this kind of stuff, I recommend meal prepping stuff. I can't recommend it for sure because I haven't tried it myself. I'm going to though. My plan with my family, because my brother is trolling. He's not taking his health seriously and it pisses me off. He's having ramen for breakfast like every day. Brother he maybe gets 100 grams of protein and he's bigger than me. He's like 200 pounds. Probably 220 now because he's freaking slacking. But I want to ask him like, hey, do you want to meal prep this Sunday? And we make like a bunch of breakfast burritos and we air seal them. That's the terminology correct? So I want to buy an air sealer and we'll do that. Because apparently if you air seal things, they last a lot longer and they stay fresher. So that's the plan. So if you don't have time, you could look into that, which I can't recommend it because I haven't tried it yet. Vacuum seal, that's the one. But that's what I want to do because I want him to lock in, but he can't. Now he has a slight excuse because his life is busy. He's got 3 kids, 4 soon, a wife. He works like 45 hours a week, 50 hours a week. So I get it. It's not really an excuse, but I can understand why he's not locked in. Because there's folks that have had worse situations that made it work. Now that being said, I think it'd be cool for us to get together and do like a meal prep thing. When I say us, I'm not sure if y'all are invited yet. Could be a hassle. He's not really good on camera. He gets nervous. He might say something diabolical. On accident as well. I don't know if vacuum seal does anything if you're putting the meal into a freezer. That's what I've heard folks say it does though. Like people have said it does. I can't confirm or deny, so it'd be something to think about and try out. Otherwise, you could just use foil. I've seen a lot of folks do that instead. If you make a breakfast burrito with tortillas and whatnot, just use foil and call it a day. Also, if you cook food, please clean as you go, son. My food's ready. I could eat right now, but instead of doing that and have my dishes get all gross, I'm cleaning them. I'm not putting it off till later. I'm not procrastinating at all. I'm doing this so that way I can continue to eat. In fact, the only time I don't clean dishes after I cook is when I stream sometimes to y'all. But this time, I'm hands-free, son. So we chillin'. I put the thing on the stove and there's water underneath. Oh well. Da, 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 da. It's not burnt, okay? It's just a little crispy. It's not burnt, no one say anything. Ooh, brother. PB Fit, You mix PB Fit with freaking chocolate milk, regular milk, water even. And if you don't put too much of the liquid in, it makes a nice little paste that is kind of delicious. The only issue is that it takes a bit to mix it up correctly. I want a fork. Wait, we'll go on this side. Now here's the execution for this. You grab the inside, like so. We'll do this, boom, boom, lift off, and then that, you like that? You like that, brother? We got movement tech. For the air fryer, what can I say? Boom, son. And then now, hit it with some Salt Bay action with the new kosher salt, hashtag not sponsored. Imagine that. Is this actually Salt Bay or like a freaking T-Rex? It's like one of them long neck things from Jurassic Park. Now, I don't usually add salt to my food like that, or this food at least, because I got butter, that's savory, the hash browns, they got salt in them. But, ain't no big deal. I'm not really afraid of sodium, because I am decently active. That's another thing. I think people are afraid of sodium, sugar, and carbs to a point that's a little irrational. Like if you're eating fast food all the time, then maybe sodium could be a problem because there's a lot of sodium in like fast food and stuff. But in general, you shouldn't be too worried. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, salsa. Got some salsa. And I guess I'll take my fish oil and vitamin D3. I don't know if this brand is like that good, but this is Nature Bell. And then I got some Live Conscious omega-3s. Wrong package. This is one that's not open yet. Take two. I put it in my pocket just so I can not forget. And then take one. Some folks do 2 servings of vitamin D3 and K2. They get like 10,000 IUs. Or is it? Yeah, 10,000 IUs. Oh, this is 10,000 IUs. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now this is a little tidbit. If you get a water bottle, I implore you to get one that has a rotating handle like this, a rotating little loop thing. Because I can just, boom. One-handed carry. I just can't even explain to you how amazing that is. Oh, I need to clean my spatula. One second. Are there any new games coming out in November? There's like big ones that we should be looking into? Because I feel like I've been kind of content starved recently. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero came out. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan. I'm not a fighting game fan. Wasn't for me. So that was like a big hit that some folks went crazy for, and I was just sitting there going, I'm happy for y'all, but okay, transferring all this is gonna suck. Oh my goodness. Watch where you're going, dude. Salt, it tastes good, then you probably should have some. Yeah, salt's a flavor enhancer, I've heard. For the longest time, I didn't know that people added salt to baked goods, because I'm someone who doesn't like savory and sweet. Turns out, almost all good baked goods have salt added. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's a flavor enhancer. Is this thing getting hot? What's going on there? I got this. Just don't think about dropping it. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. Dun, 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 dun. Mission accomplished, son. Now I'll give you guys a peep at the spread. Line up the coins. Boom, boom. There it is. Eh? Not too shabby, eh? Breakfast of champions. Breakfast without coffee? What if I told you I don't drink coffee? Ever. I think I've had coffee maybe 3 times my whole life. Got that freaking nerd neck. I don't do coffee. In fact, I don't really do caffeine either. I'm not really a big caffeine drinker. The phone's too far away, I can't read. What if I... Genius. Genius activities. Are you a plant? Are you a plant for big salts? What's Electro saying? Yeah, dude, my dad and my brother are both addicted to caffeine. Like, real talk. Not to the point that it's debilitating. Or it actually could be. Like, caffeine, if you rely on it, you tend to have to drink more of it. If you rely on something that has diminishing returns, you have to drink more of it to try and feel something. So caffeine's that same way. That's why some folks have to get 400 milligrams, 500 milligrams a day, which is not good. A, it racks up in price a little bit at least. B, that's a problem. You have an addiction at that point. So I kind of want them to stop drinking so much coffee, but if they did that, they'd get migraines, I assume. Not to mention, some folks drink coffee way past the time they're supposed to. Coffee or caffeine has a half-life of, I believe, 5 hours. So after 5 hours, you have half the caffeine in your system. I think that's how they phrase that. I could be wrong on that in terms of the terminology, but they do say that you shouldn't really have caffeine after, for sure, probably, what, 2 p.m.? Yeah, a lot of folks do that. They have their afternoon brew. And then that messes up their sleep. And it's a recurring cycle of them being tired because they had caffeine at night, and they wake up and they need more caffeine, and they need more caffeine in the afternoon, which then impedes their sleep at night. This hash brown did not cook properly, but I ain't tripping. I'm gonna eat it regardless. Dude, even though these potatoes aren't cooked perfectly, I just love them, dude. I'm also a big fan of doing double starch. So like 2 versions of carbs. I got hash browns and potatoes. They're both potatoes, but cooked differently. I'll go to restaurants, I'll get French fries, macaroni. I'll get French fries, what else? Oh, French fries and mashed potatoes, bang, dog. You dip your French fries in the mashed potatoes. Tell me it's not goated. Folks with ADHD can sleep straight after drinking coffee. I'm not sure I have ADHD, but I know that when I was younger, they gave me medication. It was called Ritalin, which you should never give your children. If doctor prescribes that, just say no. And it definitely helped me function better. Like, my handwriting went from being chicken scratch to being almost perfect, but side effects were I pulled out my front tooth. This is fake. I have lasting effects from being given drugs as a kid to help with my ADHD. So these days I don't take any medicine. In fact, I haven't had medicine since I was in 5th grade when that happened. So maybe that's the reason why I don't like caffeine, because it doesn't actually do anything for me. Or at least I feel like it doesn't do anything for me. Now, salsa, by the way, if you are trying to lose weight, salsa is a bit of a cheat code. This is 5 calories. There's 16 servings, and each serving is 5 calories. So if you ate the whole tub of this, 60, it's like 90 calories, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty freaking nuts. 80 calories, I think. 4 times 5, 20, 5 times 12, 60, 80 calories. Woo, Ritalin mention? There's no way we're hyping up Ritalin, guys. We gotta simmer down there. Do doctors still give kids Ritalin in the first place? I feel like it should be discontinued. Because when I was a kid in 5th grade, I think I was, what, like 8, 9? That's almost 20 years ago. There's no way they're still doing that. Play Dauntless again? I'll play Dauntless when they get more content. All right, I want to move this so you don't hear me freaking throat this food. Like maybe some slight ASMR is cool, but not freaking. Like you can hear that. Just wait. Oh my God! How do you do this? How do you move this to the point it's not going to be weird? You can watch me eat food. I'm not trying to have you hear me eat food though. ASMR? I don't know. It freaks me out. Not comfortable with it yet. That being said, it'd be weird to make all this food and not eat it. English or Spanish? This is the most interesting stream I've ever been to. Brother, we unboxed Tupperware. I made potatoes. I put hash browns and potatoes in the air fryer after making a little bit of a DIY basket holder with parchment paper. Cooked up some vegetables. Talked about calories and whatnot. I felt like the stream was educational. It was like maybe 5% funny, which is good. It's good enough. I think the stream was pretty productive, you know? And not to mention, I just did what I normally do, which is make my food. Now, in saying all that, I do want to get different hash browns. These have not way too many calories, but there's a better option. I want to look into. I want to pursue a better option. So my hair is weird right now. I took a shower last night, went on a walk, and it was windy. So the wind is just freaking blowing past me. And so my hair looks like that. And I don't care enough to fix it, so here we are. Make your own hash browns. I'm cool with making potatoes like this. I ain't making no hash browns, I don't think. This is not a cooked potato. Gosh darn it. There's one flaw with my hash brown and potato method. Sometimes they don't cook evenly. Yep. I'm not sure what potatoes I had before, but before these, like white potatoes, yellow potatoes, it works just fine. With the yellow potatoes, they don't cook as good in the air fryer. I don't know why that is. Maybe they hold on to more moisture. Whatever the case, it's tilting. You can hear the uncooked potato. It's crunchy. They're not all like that though. This one's mushy. I'm cool with that. This one. Not the play. Man. You can pre-section the potatoes. For these, I'm not sure what you mean by pre-section. I cut them. Soak a bowl of starch, and you gotta like use russets because other types of potatoes just get soggy. Yeah, I ordered, so I do curbside at HEB, which I love. It's awesome. It saves you so much time. You order groceries, and the people inside of it just like pick them out for you, and then you pull up in the curbside parking spot. They bring out the groceries, and you're on your merry way. I asked for russet potatoes. They probably didn't have any, and so they gave me white potatoes or yellow potatoes for 5 pounds. So here we are. Definitely not as great. Now, what I might do tomorrow, I might just soak these white potatoes overnight. Would that be dumb? Is it wise to soak potatoes overnight? Or will that cause some kind of a issue going forward? Because I could instead soak them before I go to the gym. That could work, maybe. At this point, anything to help make them not so hard. There could be an issue. Wait. Oh my, YouTube is so annoying. If you're in the live stream right now, go to the little chat box icon, and if it says all chat, change it to all messages. It goes chat filter, top messages, all messages, fan funding, none. Turn it to all messages. Why this is a thing is the most goofy thing imaginable. How is YouTube making so much money and they have geriatric dinosaurs in charge of these systems? Lock in a schmidge. Locktober's almost over, but geez Louise. You could boil them before frying. It just adds more time to it though. You soak beans, not potatoes. They have enough water. No, I think the reason you soak them, are you supposed to soak them in cold water to help get rid of the starch? Eating breakfast at 2:30 is evil. I always skip my first meal. My first meal is my pre-workout snacks. I do a few rice cakes and some PB Fit mixed with Fairlife milk, and that's my pre-workout snack. Today I don't lift, so I instead just had EAAs and my electrolytes and creatine. Use code OhDough at ecovision.com. Speaking of creatine, or speaking of Ecovision, I think I'm like moving away from protein powder a little bit. Like maybe I'll try and bake with it and I'll like that more. But protein powder is one of those things that I don't dislike it. There's just very little of it that I really enjoy. Like for Ecovision, brownie batter is the best one by far, but I don't know if it's like amazing, you know? I feel like I've always settled on a flavor from that. You wash and soak in cold water to wash off excess starch, like washing your rice. That's what I've been told. That's why when I cut up potatoes, I rinsed it earlier. There's like a very quick version of trying to get off some starch, but soaking it is the play. I don't have any ice in the house. Now, as a raise of hands, type one in the chat. Type one in the chat if you're a person that can eat the same food every day, more or less. If not, type 0, I guess. Because I'm a 1. This is the meal I make basically every single day. You track calories, and if yeah, what's your intake? My current intake is roughly 2,000 calories, maybe 2,100. It fluctuates a little bit because I'm not perfect. But this meal right here, 3 hash browns, 300 calories, eggs are about 440, so that's 740. Potato was roughly 220 grams. That's, I believe 150 calories. So 150, 740, that's 890. The broccoli altogether is probably 120 calories. So it's 900 and it's like 1,010 calories for breakfast. And then recently I've been doing a shake that is frozen strawberries, milk, protein powder. I'm gonna stop doing that shake to try and save on calories a little bit. And instead I'm gonna have EAAs or try and find like a smaller shake alternative. But yeah, roughly I do like around 2,000 calories a day. But I do a lot of cardio, so it kind of offsets that. Because 2,000 calories, I'm in a deficit. I just want to be in more of a deficit to lose more weight faster. And I do more cardio to eat more food. One, one, 1, 0. I feel like if you're a 0, it makes life harder. You get more variety, but you gotta work for that variety. Nah, what do you mean? If you're a 1 and you're someone that eats the same food every day, you can just buy the same food in bulk, have it in your fridge, and you know exactly how much you need of it all the time. If you're a 0 and you need to have new food, I think it's like I think those are the numbers we chose. But if you're someone that has to have different food every day, or more or less most of the time, you're buying different food, you gotta keep track of different stuff, gotta learn how to bake and cook different things. I feel like it's a little more complicated, but you get more variety. Like you're pursuing more variety, which is kind of cool. Not related, but I'm thinking about the DSS. Well, it would be just like that. Not related, but I'm now thinking that DSS will be just like that thing in mobile games that has no visual effects and just makes plus 15% liberation instantly after some threshold. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an effect that isn't going to, it might be kind of meaningful, but I think that what's going to happen is you'll get like some insane stratagems as a result. I'm saying there's a pretty good chance all it's going to be is you get like a insane stratagem that folks vote on. I keep making breakfast burritos with scrambled eggs, sausage, and hash browns. That sounds fantastic. See, I want to meal prep those. Like sometime soon, I want to meal prep breakfast burritos with hash browns, sausage, eggs, and like maybe some fat-free cheese. As a biotech research assistant, I have to say that normally it's good enough to eat daily servings of meat and no need to supplement protein through protein powder. The reason why folks do protein powder is they want to get 1 gram of protein per body weight, which sometimes is kind of hard to do on the day. Now you can do it with just whole foods, but like in my case, I don't have readily available whole foods to reach my goal. Like when I finish the day out, I'm 174 pounds and I usually finish off at like around 150 grams of protein per day. I could eat more yogurt, like that's not a bad choice, but I don't want to eat 400 grams of yogurt a day. So I lean towards protein powder sometimes just to try and mix it up and have more of a savory thing that's a bit different-ish. That's why I'm getting some Quest protein chips too, because there's also days I don't have time to get all my food in the way I want to. If you move, you like Flag Day. Flag Day's pretty cool. More of a boat day enthusiast though. Ever tried hemp seeds or buckwheat? I don't think so. So people talk about complete proteins, and animal sources or meat is a complete protein. Protein powder, I believe, is also a complete protein. When it comes to plant proteins, I don't recall if they're complete proteins or not. But I do know that a lot of plant protein does not do me right by my stomach. I don't quite handle them good. Yeah, no, it's not wise to eat too much protein powder in a day, I wouldn't say. The issue is that protein powder does not contain anywhere near the same micronutrients as regular food does. It's fine to have like a protein shake, 20 grams, maybe 40 grams of protein, whatever. Some people recommend you drink 4 protein shakes a day, sometimes getting 150 grams of protein from protein shakes. That would suck, because not only is it liquid calories, which I'm fairly certain just isn't as satiating as eating your food, but you're not getting any micronutrients. You're not getting anywhere near the same micronutrients from actually eating your food. It's another reason why I don't particularly like greens, like like greens powders where it's vegetables in powdered form. They're not bad, but ideally you want to get your vegetables from actually eating them if you can help it. Now, if you don't eat vegetables ever, having greens powder is better than not having it. I think that much I can't disagree with. But in the same vein, if you can get it from the real source, you should. Don't need protein shakes. I need a lot of meat and plant proteins from lentils, beans, and other legumes every day. I implore you to try and measure how much you're eating. Not that I don't believe you. It's just I'm curious. Because for me, there's times where I'm on point, I'm doing everything right, and I've been tracking food, and reality strikes that I'm like a little off. Only be for building muscles. Even then, it wouldn't be wise. Like it makes sense, I guess, if you're like a mass monster. If you're someone that's 300 pounds, 250 pounds, then I can see you having more protein shakes in a day. Still wouldn't be ideal, but it would make more sense in that regard. If you're someone like me, 174 pounds, maybe 200, you can have a protein shake a day, but you don't want to be having more than like 3 protein shakes a day. You don't want to be getting more than like 50 grams of protein from protein shakes. Would be the rule I set, at least. No, protein shakes they're a meal replacement most of the time, and that's fine. They shouldn't replace all your meals though. Easily 60 to 80 grams of protein a day. How much do you weigh though? Because if you're going for hypertrophy, like if your goal is to build muscle, folks recommend 1 gram of protein per day. Other folks say, in the same vein, getting 0.7 grams of protein per day is fine. And I don't know, like maybe that applies to everyone. Like I assume it only applies to folks that are trying to like go for hypertrophy and build muscle. but maybe it applies to all people. So if you're 100 pounds, you want 70 grams of protein. Minimum, I guess. If you're 200 pounds, you want 140. That's going off the most lenient recommendation. Look at my veins. I'm getting leaner. Today I had my lowest weight in to date. I'm actually 173 now. Overweight, 270 pounds, but I do work out two to three times a day. If you focus more on protein and fiber, not solely, but if you get more protein and fiber, you'll be more satiated and you won't be as hungry as often. And like in your case, what's your height? Because they also say you don't want to get so if you're 270 pounds and you're overweight, right? You don't want to get 270 grams of protein. Instead, get 1 gram or 0.7 grams of protein per ideal body weight. Let's say you're 270, you want to be 240, 230, 2 whatever. You want to get 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per 240. Imagine getting entertained by a guy eating food. That's when you need to go outside and touch some grass. Imagine caring. That's when you should go outside and touch some grass. Because I'm speaking about things that are important right here, but your brain's so delayed you can't even understand that. My condolences. This is also like one of the better things you could be doing right now. There's folks that are wasting their money on OnlyFans models right now, talking to some dude named Carl. This is like by far not the worst place you could be. I'm 53. I can't speak though, which is kind of tragic. I'm 53 kilograms currently, and I monitor my diet closely to have more than enough calories and balanced diet, but I'm not getting any weight. Basically, I'm poor in absorption and have higher metabolism rate. I promise you, you can gain weight. I can't show you pictures of me, but when I was younger, I was a rail dog. When I was 15, I weighed like 130 pounds at 5'10". And I was in the same boat of like always thinking I couldn't gain weight. But if you aren't measuring your food with a food scale and using like an app like Chronometer, MyFitnessPal, so on and so forth, you should. Because if you measure your food with a measuring spoon and like measurements such as like measuring cups, measuring spoons, it's not as accurate. Weight is the best measurement you can have. You do though? Well, so your weight's 53 kg. How many calories are you eating per day? Because it's one of those things that there's almost no exceptions for the laws of thermodynamics for people. And I fit into the category of having a fast metabolism too, like technically. But even I'm losing weight, and I've gained weight. Like I went from being 15, being basically as tall as I get, so 5'10", 130 pounds, 140 pounds. I went up to 200 pounds after being convinced that I couldn't gain weight for some random reason. And then now I'm losing weight. I'm dropping down to 173, 173.6 today. Around 40 kcal. Is this build achievable, Natty? Yes. Brother, I am one of the most natty looking people you'll see. What'd you make? Eggs, hash brown, potatoes, veggies. So your name is in some letters I can't pronounce. Do you have chronometer? Because if you do, I don't know if there's a way to share that, but input the things in the chronometer or whatever app you have, and shoot me a message on Discord. Because on YouTube comments, it'd be hard to like convey the information properly. But let's say, look at my weight, for instance. I'm 5'10", I'm 174 pounds. My base metabolism rate, or my, what is it called? TDEE, my thermal, what's it called again? Total daily expenditure, your TDEE. Like look up like a TDEE calculator.net, and it'll give you a rough estimate of how many calories you should be burning or how many calories you should be eating to lose, gain weight, whatever the case may be. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be close-ish. Mine says 3,000 calories to be in maintenance. So if I wanna lose weight, I should be at 2,500 calories. Personally, I'm at 2,100 calories just because. And if I wanna gain weight, I'd probably go to around, let's say 3,200 to maybe 3,300, because you don't wanna gain weight too fast if you're trying to do hypertrophy and whatnot. You gain weight too fast, you can't be bulking phase for as long. If you are, you'll just get fat. Yeah, total daily energy expenditure, that's the one I couldn't think of. Bro, hash browns slap. I love them so much. My hash browns are always soggy inside. Mine can do the same thing. It takes some finesse. I use an air fryer that really helps out a lot. Your TDEE says 2050. So if that's the case, roughly speaking, you would probably want to consume, especially if you think that you're really underweight, you can consume a little bit more calories than normal. So let's say 2,500, being even somewhat reservative. And if you do that for a month straight, I almost guarantee you'd gain more weight. You know, unpopular take, hash browns are okay. I think they're pretty dang good. Like me personally, I think that hash browns kind of slap. I think that hash browns are better than mashed potatoes. But maybe I haven't had mashed potatoes in a long time and I forgot. I'm trying to think like what we could do to increase your calories, because like the simple answers are you could eat just more calorically dense food more often. So peanut butter's a good option for that. Nuts, those have a lot of calories. They're still good for you, but they have a lot of calories. You could do a protein shake where you mix peanut butter with maybe oats, protein powder, milk, and that could get you to around probably 700 calories from just that alone, maybe even 800. So you can do things. Just don't go too crazy, because I don't know, if your body's not used to it, you could feel kind of bad for a little bit. Remove that chat. If someone hasn't typed in chat at all and they ask a dumb question like that just makes no sense, maybe they're just not used to, like, I guess, normal conversation, but it's just weird. Had a friend in college, he wasn't doing anything at all. He played games and that's it, but ate like a goddamn aircraft carrier. 6 hamburgers, eggs, just a snack. I'm eating like 3 and gaining weight. But the thing is, those people, they eat like that in front of you. Because the way that gaining weight, losing weight works, it's not one day makes you fat, one day makes you skinny. It is day after day after day after day, for the most part, of doing one thing, being in a caloric maintenance, caloric surplus, or caloric deficit. So it's the same reason why if you're trying to lose weight, people do cheat days. They have days where they eat more than they should because it's not a big deal. It's one day. If one day of the week you eat more than you should, but every other day you're eating like you're eating like you're supposed to, it cancels it out. Unless that cheat day is 20,000 calories, in which case, good luck. Like you messed up bad on that in that situation. So folks that have a certain standing point right now, they just got to recognize like, what am I doing that isn't conducive to my goals? If you're overweight, you're probably drinking soda, which is 130 calories per can. I throw back 4 diet sodas easily. If those were real sodas, it's almost, what, 600 calories? In like the span of no time at all. Chips, another thing. I like chips. I don't buy them for the house because if I do, I'll eat them. I eat a whole bag in like one sitting, lickety split. Another instance of you can just chow down on them as if they don't even exist. So instead, I get potatoes, even hash browns, which these hash browns are not the best for macros. There's better ones I'm gonna look into. But I make choices like that that are conducive to my goals. When I want to start gaining weight, I can have chips, which you can have chips and lose weight too, but it makes it a bit more complicated in my case. Those synthetic sugars don't alter your macros? No, they do not. They're like they test that kind of stuff to actually see how much it burns. I forget exactly how they test it, but it's kind of gross. But diet soda, especially ones that I'm like, there's different sugars. There's aspartame, I think it's a sweetener. I could be wrong on that. Sucralose, monk fruit, so on and so forth. But if they made me gain weight, I wouldn't be losing weight right now, because I drink like 4 a day, maybe 5, and I'm the lightest I've been in a long time. Look into pork cracklings instead of chips. Oh yeah. People talk about pork rinds, which they're pretty good, but I don't really crave chips. I never really did. It's one of those things that if it's in the house, I'll eat them. Yeah, like so the way that calories work. One second. So just because something says 0 calories doesn't mean it actually is 0 calories. This, for all I know, could be 2 calories, 4 calories, 5 calories, maybe 4 calories. Because the way it works, you're allowed to say that something is 0 calories if it is 5 calories or lower, apparently. Now, some companies will say it's 5 calories. Other companies will say it's 0 calories. This could be 0, or it could be 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Who knows? Either way, if I drink 4 of these, 5 of these, and they're 5 calories, 25 calories, I don't care. I will be completely fine. It's so minimal that there's no need in tracking that whatsoever. Just like I don't track salsa. That's 5 calories per serving. It's just so minuscule, it doesn't change the outcome of what I'm doing. Now, some folks are afraid of diet soda. Now, that makes sense if it gives you headaches, because certain sweeteners give folks headaches, and if that's happening, then don't drink it. Like, find ones that you can drink that have different sweeteners. But in general, diet soda is not bad for you. Would you be better off not drinking it? Maybe. Does drinking it have detrimental health outcomes? Not from what the research shows. Do you drink energy drinks? No. I mean, I have like Ecovision's Blue Raz no caffeine energy drink, which is a bunch of nootropics. But I drink that for the flavor sometimes. Not very often though. The only thing I really drink is going to be electrolytes, creatine in the morning. Sometimes I have essential amino acids. And I have 7-Up diet soda, 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. It's goated. And water. And milk. That's what I have most of the time. My mom's calling me. I don't want to hang up. Chat, I gotta go. Doja, what's up? I appreciate y'all being here. I'll catch you later, man. How do you end stream? You're blocking it. She's blocking it. But, yeah. I'll be on tonight, I think. We can continue the conversation on health stuff. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate y'all being here. It means a ton. Thank you for chilling, chatting, watching me eat. If it's weird, I'm sorry. Content creators do it. But you have a good one. Laters. End.